Okay, so time for some updates on Kelly 2. This morning I just tested out the bottomless feed hopper. Unfortunately, it's having kind of the same issue it had before. It's a little bit improved. I swapped the M4 magazine end out for an AK, but even though it feeds a lot more reliably now, except instead of once every 2 shots that the gun shoots, it does shoot just about every single one. However, the gearing setup inside bound up about after a minute, so we're going to have to scrap that and go with something else, maybe like a bowl gear. But for right now, and I don't think I'm going to get that done before the middle of March, which is going to be the next time I'm using this thing. So until then, we'll be using this nice little winding hopper, nice little drum mag. I have that upside down. It's been in use for, I think, a couple of years. I've had it for about 4 years now, and I used it on Kelly 2. So we're just going to keep using it on, I'm sorry, I used it on Kelly 1. We're going to keep using it on Kelly 2. And this, I just wired up today. My little button is mounted right there, and I've got my trigger. So you just squeeze, and you can do both at the same time, which is about what you want to do. Probably push the button. The reason I have it separated as one thing and instead of like the trigger doing both is because you need to wind the magazine a little bit before pulling the trigger. You're going to get a couple of dry fire shots. And when it's a difference between, you know, the target hearing you and getting his head down and maybe getting caught in the open, I'd rather have that extra second or so. So, yeah, another thing I did was besides the feed decision and installation here, I also did this. It didn't used to pull out like this, but I figured just like the real thing, there's a pintle and it pulls straight out of the mount. So that's drilled out, and it's a lot easier when I have both hands to do it. It's a lot easier. So we're good. But yeah, it rips it right out of there in like, you know, a second or whatever. The thing is, I'm going to probably make a new one of these. I just recently had a friend who was interested in being, you know, in working with me on this and making an indirect fire weapon instead of a direct fire weapon. So it's going to get, and he sent me pictures of everything that they used to use to actually carry it on their back. So the tripod I originally thought was going to be way too complicated. But that was back before I had a bunch of hands-on experience. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to take a bunch of 1-inch EMT conduit and just maybe hammer the ends flat and drill through the ends, and maybe those will be the joints. We'll see. But basically, it doesn't look that hard. So yeah. But that's the newest update for this guy. Stay tuned for more if you guys are interested. I'm also going to add here at the end, I'm going to add the chronograph results. I finally got a chronograph after 10 years of being in this hobby. It's been long overdue, and it's not doing as bad as it was. Originally, when I went to the last Milsim and I had Kelly 1, they told me that it was shooting like sub CQB limits, which was not, you know, not a great morale booster for me. But thankfully, I have, you know, they were using, I think, 0.40s or something like that for joule creep. So I was getting something like 60 FPS, 80 FPS, which is crazy low, obviously, but I'm using 20s. And I use 20s for 2 reasons. Number one is they're freaking cheap. And number 2 is they're a little bit lighter and they can go a little bit further. They might not have as much punch. They might not have as much consistency, but they're fine. They work just fine for this, for volume. When you spray an area and you don't want to, oh, that was, you know, $20 right there. I have that going for me. So on 20s, I think it's like 380 FPS, feet per second, and about 14 rounds per second. So pretty average, not terrible, not great. But yeah, I'll post that at the end of the video if you guys are interested in looking at that. So thanks for watching.